Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking all about Procreate and whether or not I think it is worth switching to it from whatever your current setup may be, whether that be drawing on paper or using a tablet with your computer. I know for me, I was using a Wacom Cintiq 13HD with my computer and my laptop. I have actually had my iPad for 8 months now, but I'm only just now making this video as it has taken me so long to adjust to drawing in Procreate. And that is why I'm so happy that Skillshare is sponsoring today's video, because I have actually been watching so many incredibly helpful Procreate tutorials on the platform, which have really helped me get over the learning curve in using the program. I mainly watched Vashti Harrison's Illustrating in Procreate class, as well as Gabrielle Brickley's Drawing on the iPad Pro tutorial, but they were just two of the many classes that I found on Procreate and how you can draw on Procreate. Skillshare, if you didn't already know, is an online learning community with more than 25,000 classes in anything from design to business, all of which you have unlimited access to with a premium membership. I think it is an incredibly helpful platform for learning new things or expanding on what you already know, and it is only $10 a month for access to all the classes. So in my opinion, as a student, I think that is super affordable, and they were kind enough to offer 2 free months to the first 500 of you to click the link in the description. So make sure you click on that link and check it out. I highly recommend it, and thank you so much to Skillshare for supporting my channel. So the main reason I wanted to buy an iPad in the first place, and the main reason I wanted to switch to Procreate, was the idea of the portability of it. I can't tell you how many times I knew I was going on like a journey somewhere, or I was going away for a few days, like maybe to see my grandma, or going on vacation, and I would just think to myself, is it worth it to pack my laptop and my tablet and then all the cables that go along with it? And it would just be so many cables, so many chargers, so much like hassle. And then the idea of just having like a really slim iPad that would just fit in my bag with the pencil that just magnetically snaps on, and that is coming from someone who has lost many a tablet pen. I'm literally the most accident prone, like messy person in the world, so I lose things all the time. So the idea of a pencil that just snaps on the side of the iPad, that's kind of what sold it to me. So I saved up for a very, very long time, and that is how I got myself an iPad. And I have to say, ever since I've been using it, it is absolutely amazing, the fact that I can literally be outside in the garden and I can draw on it, or I can be sat down on the sofa and I can draw on it. It's so portable and so lightweight, and it's probably one of my favourite purchases ever. And when I first looked at Procreate, I was thinking, this does look a bit bare, like the interface looks really bare, and I'm used to using programs like Krita, and you know what it's like when you load up something like Krita or Paint Tool Site or Photoshop, and there's like a million controls and you get completely overwhelmed. And then the opposite of that, which is opening up Procreate, I wouldn't say you feel underwhelmed, you just feel, for me, I felt like, I was like so confused. I was like, I can't see any options. But I think the interface is very cleverly designed, because everything you need, all the different options you need, are all like tucked away into like really helpful like toolbars at the very top. And then along the left hand side, you can control the size of your brush as well as the opacity of your brush. And the way it's all laid out, once you've gotten used to it, is so helpful, and I feel like it allows you to focus more on your drawing and less on like the complicated controls. And I have absolutely loved using Procreate for sketching, for drawing, and I will quickly mention I was struggling at first as well, because even though all the brushes in it are really great, I didn't have any brushes that kind of mimic my favourite brushes when I'm drawing on my computer. So I got myself some brushes. I think the brushes that I use are the Ergo Josh Procreate sketching brushes and the Essential Max Pack brushes, and those you can both get on Gumroad, I think. And I can't remember how much I got them for. I think they were only like $5 each. but there are lots of different like brush packs you can get on Gumroad. You of course by no means have to pay for any brushes. You can get loads of free brushes too, or you could just use the ones that come with Procreate. I think with any kind of digital art program, it's finding what brush works best for you. And for me, there is one specific brush in the Ergo Josh brush pack that I basically use for everything. I use it to paint, I use it to like shade and sketch. I use it for a lot of things, and as soon as I found something that worked for me, it made my Procreate experience a lot better. Also, another thing I really like about the iPad, and another thing I was worried about, is when I'm drawing on the computer, I like to have like references up at the side of my screen. Sometimes I will set up dual monitors with my Cintiq as well, so I'll have the screen be my reference pictures and then be drawing on the Cintiq. And I was worried about the iPad not being able to do that, but the iPad that I have, you can actually use a split screen feature, so you can literally have photos open at the same time, which is what I do most of the time. It's what I did for the drawing that I'm doing today. More and more these days I'm using reference, especially because I'm trying so hard to get better at hands, and I found it so incredibly useful. So yeah, very useful way of having references up at the same time as you're using Procreate. Also, another good thing about using Procreate on your iPad is that colour picking is literally as simple as holding down your finger. You're not having to remember any like keyboard shortcuts or anything like that. Everything is done through like gestures and swipes and things like that. Also, the fact you can just rotate the canvas as much as you like. And if you like making time lapses of your videos, or if you're an art YouTuber like me and you're like, I need to film what I'm doing, it's great because Procreate films it all for you. It records every single drawing that you do. It records every brush stroke you make. And this has been a lifesaver. I wish Paint Tool Sai or Krita or Photoshop or any of those digital art programs, I wish they had the option to just film it from inside the program. Maybe there is a program that does that, I don't know. But Procreate, as far as I'm aware, is the only one I know of that does that, and it has been so incredibly helpful, especially because, and I always have people ask me, Jenna, why is the canvas like flipping so much? Why does it keep flipping in your videos? I like to flip the drawing because it helps me see if there's any mistakes. If you stare at something for too long, you get used to looking at that one view of it, whereas if you flip it round, it's so much easier to look at it with like fresh eyes, if you will, and see what the problems and the mistakes are. And when I do this in Procreate, it doesn't come up in my speed paint whatsoever. Like, it doesn't keep flipping like it does when I record something on the computer. And sometimes I'm watching my speed paints back and I'm aware that it's so annoying that it keeps flipping because it's sped up so much. So there's not really much I can do about it. But with Procreate, that's not even something I have to worry about. Adding on to the portability point from earlier, I brought my iPad with me on holiday. I was drawing on the plane. It kept me occupied on the 9-hour flight to Florida, which is such a long flight. It can be so boring, but being able to just completely draw on it, I have once attempted to open up my laptop on a plane before and plug in my Intuos tablet, but it was just so like bulky and difficult, I couldn't do it. So drawing on an iPad, it was just a million times better. And then all of my latest Instagram posts have actually been drawn while I was out on vacation in Florida. I was literally sitting by the pool drawing, which sounds quite dangerous now that I say it. And I know what I'm like, so I'm kind of glad I didn't like drop my iPad in the pool or something. But anyway, the point is that you can literally bring it anywhere and it's absolutely amazing. So I've spoken a lot about all of Procreate and the iPad's good points for drawing, but I haven't really spoken so much about any of the bad things. One problem I have with Procreate is no matter what I do, no matter what I draw, I just still don't think it is to the same quality as drawings that I just do on the computer. I don't know if it's because I don't have the right technique yet, or I'm not properly used to it yet, or if it's something to do with the brushes, but I can't quite make my pieces look as good as I know they would look if they're on the computer. That might just be me that thinks that. You might look at the pieces I'm doing and think, no, that's just as good, but I don't know. That's one thing that does annoy me a tiny bit about anything I draw on Procreate, but that is one like little tiny thing. Everything else has been completely great. So to answer the question of this video, should you switch to Procreate for drawing? I would say that I definitely would recommend it, but I haven't fully switched to only drawing on Procreate. I am still drawing on my computer. I still use my Cintiq. I like the option of having both because obviously I can't just lug my Cintiq to a coffee shop, whereas I can bring Procreate on my iPad round the coffee shop. Hopefully this video made sense and I wasn't rambling too much, and I really hope this was helpful to you guys. I will hopefully have a how I draw in Procreate tutorial coming soon if you guys would like to see that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!